Okay, targets and aiming. That's the topic for today, okay, on this philosophy. Wilshire Richards' life philosophy. I'm loving making these videos for you, and I'll always be happy to share my thoughts on different topics. And we're talking about targets, okay, basically in our life, and how we need to focus on the right targets and aim. Excuse me. We all have aims and goals. I've already spoken to you before, I believe, on sometimes when you're working so hard for something, or you're aiming for a certain goal in your life, and you end up regretting later on or feeling bad about the outcome, or that you've wasted so much effort and it's all gone downhill. But basically, it's not about that. It's not even about the shooting. I mean, it is in a way the action. You've got to go for it. You can't just sit there dreaming. But having that idea, as I've said before, if you really want something, then you've already got it ultimately. Because even if we have something, it's really like only because our mind knows it. So it's just the mind, as I've said before, your mind is your world. Before I start going too deep, okay, and jumping from one lily pad to the next, it's like, basically, I know foundation, you've got to come back to foundation. We learn from the real experience. You can't live in the sky, as they say, it's like you're holding a piece of meat or potato in your hand, or with a knife and fork and a spoon, it's up to you. I'm just saying, that food is real. Without it, your body's going to die. If you're hungry and you need to eat the same. But what I'm saying is, it's like your mind, is everything. So you want it, you already have it. You see the target so purely, you're in connection with that target, what you're aiming for. Then that's what it's all about. The action just connects with that. And if your action is off of timing, like your eyes and your heart is right on that target, but you're shooting elsewhere with your gun, let's say, for example, bow and arrow, then there's a problem, isn't there? It needs to be trained. Maybe your mind's not fully focused, or you're too committed, or you're off balance, or something's going on. That's what martial arts talks about, in a kind of meditative kind of way. Martial arts talk about focusing your actions and your mind and all that together to be totally accurate, But what I'm talking about though is you see, it's not the action, it's not the actual outcome, whether you hit the bullseye or you this or that as such. It's like you want to win a competition, or you want to get the gold medal, get the prize, or you want to win the respect of everybody in the stadium if you're a basketball player. If that's all, you get that money for something. If you were doing something for something, they say that the journey is more important than the destination. If you're trying to do something in order to something or get something, then you would say, well, that's right, I've got to have the idea. But what I'm saying is, you get the idea for the idea slows the whole purpose down and the whole thing. The idea and the action together, without the middleman, without if you always go and confront your mother and father before doing something, you might be 60 years old and you go and ask your 85-year-old mother, should I wash my hands, this or that. It's just kind of ridiculous, right? You're always going to slow things down. You might cut half your day down. And you say, well, I'm not going to do that, am I? But yes, you might do, because you're so busy with your whole day doing this and that. Every small little thing, it takes up a lot of time, money and energy in yourself. And you're depriving yourself of the possibility to grow and develop yourself further. And this is really happening in real life right now. Absolutely really happening. Absolutely. Through your screen, blood clot. Blood clot. I'm just saying, right? For real. I'm just saying, excuse my language, I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, really, but just saying, it's like, I'm just fucking saying. Let me finish what I'm saying, I get on doing it. That's what I'm saying, you waste time doing things like, you focus the gun. First of all, okay, I don't agree with guns and shooting as such, and there's too much shootings going on in the world, full stop. I know some people, in some countries, guns are legal, especially in America and that, right, or they have been for so many years, where people are, able to have a gun to protect themselves and defend themselves. I'm not talking about literally focusing on a target, as in, for anyone, okay, who doesn't understand me in this video, I'm not talking about shooting with a gun or a bow and arrow, okay? or a catapult, yeah, or flicking a bogey at someone. I'm just saying, directing your mind, your idea towards a goal or something in your life. So targets, that's what I will say to you, okay? Sometimes we can be focused on the wrong target. It's like the horseman, you know, someone on the horse or some ninja clan or something back in the day, and someone focusing on that horseman with his bow and arrow. It might not even be a real person, it's a dummy sitting on the horse, and he's focusing on that. And it's actually a trick from the ninjas in the nearby woods, you know, and he's focusing on that shit, and it's actually luring him away, and the horse is running around. It might even be a mechanical horse or something, or some kind of illusion. There's mirrors there or something. He thinks there's someone standing there, and it's all fake. These kind of things were done back in the past, in the ancient days, you know, the dummies or standing by doors or trees, and you think it's a person, and the other people have gone another way. It's all deception. You've got your deceptiveness and imagination. You can't deny the fact that other people might have that in different areas of your life, maybe at work, people you know. So you've always got to be on your game, on your ball, you know, aware of everything around you. And if you can't be as such, because you never will be 100%, you'll be more aware of yourself, in tune with yourself, and be wise and look at different aspects of different things from different angles. Now, you've got to be ready to change the flow, change your target, aiming. You can't just go with the flow all the time. They always say, go with the flow, man, you'll be okay. Like I always say, go with the flow, like Tai Chi, for example, Wing Chun, again, all that martial arts philosophy for your real life. When you're training physically with your hands, when you're training with someone, like you see in the videos and stuff, even with me, you'll see that. You'll see, like, when the person pushes hand to hand, pushes me, I pull him in, go with the flow, yeah? Or, you know, if he pulls me, I walk in and close the gap and push him back, so he goes flying a mile away. You go with that. It's like if you've got a good student, if you're a teacher, or you're a father or a mother or a teacher, and your child or the young student or the apprentice wants to go further because they have that interest and their mind's already going in that direction, you can also push them on in that direction. It'll be easier because they're going in the flow. Things will work easier, right? You see what I'm saying? If you've got a spark and flames, you can fuel the fire and make it more bigger, okay? You can fuel people's ambitions, confidence. If someone's feeling so down and they're bringing themselves down, you could also be swearing at them and being rude to them and bring them even more down, and then eventually they die. You're just helping them. If someone's fighting to win and you're trying to beat them, but you're not really fighting, and that person's more stronger than you, you'll win again. You'll lose again. It's just the power is the thing. So whatever's fueling the fire is the most important thing. More logs on the fire. So what I'm saying is like, you see what I'm trying to say? That's exactly, is your gun loaded, mother effer? Is your bow and arrow loaded? It's imagination, you know, be creative, try and open your mind more to different things, and be creative in your life, you know, rather than destructive, trying to shoot targets down, or, you know what I mean, and this and that. Or think of which gun shall I use? You try and complicate yourself, that's what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is in your life, I'm saying, you see, that's what I'm trying to say in your life. You say go with the flow, but you can't always go with the flow. For example, you don't just go with the flow. Someone pulls you by the arm and you just follow them away. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm not boasting or anything, but I kicked somebody in the head in self-defense on the street twice by kicked him twice because he was trying to drag me away, some crazy guy. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I was lucky and I wasn't beaten, stabbed to death or whatever. You know, I got away, luckily. I've been through a lot of crap in my life, as I say. If you follow someone endlessly, you don't follow yourself, as is said, you will definitely, most surely, be following somebody else. You might follow them to hell or to the shithole. Excuse my language. If you just follow some nutcase to the wrong place, he might imprison you for the rest of his life. I know, because I've been years living in, as I say, in a situation. I was basically in someone's house, almost like a prisoner for many years. I've been through a lot of crap, so I can understand where you're coming from. If someone feels that they've been bullied or tortured or been in some kind of difficult situation, it's hard to get out of. Okay, we'll talk about that in future videos, being entrapment and bullying and things like that, which I'm totally against. All forms of violence and negativity. So yeah, we're talking about honourable stuff here. Going on to the target, that's what I'm trying to say. So going in the flow, someone pulls my arm and pulls me. I won't just like push. I will, you know, go and enforce that. I will always go with the next step and go. How can I say them? You know, exploit that and use that to my full advantage. So if you're on a raft, let's say, you know what I mean, you're going down a river, you can turn, as I've said before. You need to follow the flow. You exhaust yourself, and you'll probably die a lot faster if you just go against the flow. You go with the flow of nature of all things around you that you see, not the fake things in society. You need to understand what's fake shit made by people and what's true nature. You know what I mean? You get blown away in a typhoon if you stand there for too long, you know what I mean? Or is that? You know, people jumping into volcanoes and stuff in this day and age. I'm just trying to say, you know, no offence to Jackie Chan, the man, okay? Respect to Jackie Chan and Jet Li. But let's go back to what I was saying. Excuse me, yeah, so, no, really, you know, you can steer that raft, though, is what I'm saying. Be patient and steer. And you say, how can, it's quite, you know, people panic in situations that aren't really as dramatic as they may seem, or that person's making it out to be. You're in a boat and everybody starts screaming, we're going to die, we're going to die, or, you know, or the boat suddenly, you feel a wave hit the boat, or on a plane or something, immediately your heart rate will start beating, you'll be nervous, and would that be, or maybe you're still so calm and you pay no attention to it. You need to see the actual reality. Might be turbulence on a plane, you might be afraid the thing's going to crash, you hear everybody screaming, but because your natural reaction to hearing people screaming is danger. But you can't be ignorant to the fact either. But you need to focus on the whole thing. So what I'm saying is, don't be distracted by the flow. Because you might be on the wrong flow, motherfucker, where you go. Don't you know when I'm talking to Matt? You know we don't jump up on the show, that's what I said. You know, here we go. So cold, I'm on the fucking throne. So it's not a rap in this one, it's keeping it real, yeah? Feel love, so because I don't even know stuff, but anyway, you can't even know me. Yeah, that's how they can't hold me there because I just broke you. Like that. Hold it. So yeah, so basically, you know, don't just go with the flow. There's a circle. Okay, let's set a circle. And you shoot your bullet on the circle, it just spins around on the circle and it just never ends. Because it just never ends, the circle. But if you shoot directly through the hole in the centre of the circle, it won't get into that flow and it will just go. It's like a target on the wall, see what I'm trying to say, yeah? So that's what I'm talking about. So what am I talking about? I'm not talking about guns, I'm not talking about arrows, what I'm talking about really, even though this kind of training, like Zen archery and whatever, that can help you, fair enough, to train your soul, focus, and be calm, and train your body and mind. But what I'm talking about really is focusing your mind on different subjects. Don't get yourself lost in a flow. Everybody's thinking one way, so I've got to follow them and feel the same way. Or this thing's going downhill from here, you know, I've got to go down more faster. Oh, you've got to follow this exact lane of traffic as such. You know what I'm trying to say, or what people were saying, or what's the in thing now, what's accepted by others, or as long as you're not hurting others or hurting yourself, and you're trying not to, that's the most important thing. And because we don't know and we're not perfect in our actions always, that's okay, respect yourself all the same, and just constantly study. That's the most honourable thing you can do, and respective thing to yourself too. Always study what you are doing to find out where, you know, look at your footprints in the sand as you're walking and learn, you know. Or behind in the snow. I'm going to stop this video, okay? Thank you very much for watching. When you need to change the target, to aim for something else, do that. And when you need to change direction, do that. We'll talk more on these kind of subjects in the future, okay? That's what I will say. Focus on what you need to focus on and don't get adrift. Don't let your arrows blow away in the wind. Listen to the sound of the wind, feel the wind. When it stops, get a good time to shoot. Train hard and stay safe. In your life, in your attitude, positively, not negatively. Otherwise it might just come back and kill you like a boomerang to your head, y'all, to your head. Train hard and stay safe. Thanks for watching. Thank you, everybody. Be humble in yourself and love life.